grapes also. Okay? Yeah. What's up? Yes. It was not, if it went out, it had to be peeled. Because anybody can put grapes on a plate, right? Okay, just like anybody can put a tomato right there. One of the hardest lessons I learned was watching somebody else get screamed at. They were making staff meal, and they made BLTs, which was chef's favorite. Did I guess this story? And, you know, staff meal is one of those things that we use to measure what people can do, and it's a good way for the chef to kind of critique you without having the customers pay the price. So the guy made BLTs, which was the chef's favorite, but he never peeled the tomato. The chef was furious, okay? I mean, it's little stuff like that that separates true pros from everybody else. Okay, so when we have a tomato, or a peach, or a nectarine, or anything with a really thin skin, okay, what we need to do, you just go through, make a little cross at the bottom. Okay, try not to cut into the flesh too much. My knife is super dull right now. This is good, because we're going to talk about sharpening knives here soon. Little cross on the top, little cross on the bottom. Everybody see that? Nice and easy, right? So, usually we use the butt of our knife because it's going to be the sharpest, it'll cut the least. And if you want to, you can like trace it all the way up the side, but this little X is more than enough. Now, if you have like a little bird's beak for tornadoes, use the top, whatever, okay? But just cut it. The idea is not to cut the vegetable or the fruit, it's just to score the skin. Okay, then we need boiling water. Okay? We're not poaching it, we're not doing anything else, but remember I always say keep the flame under the pot, but it's not as we go. Now you'll notice these fans are throwing the flames all over the place, okay? So you have to kind of move your pot around to where it makes the most sense. If the fan's blowing this way, the flame's going to end up over here, your pot might not be centered on the burner, right? Keep it over the flame, that's what's really important. Now if we have induction, we don't even have to worry about it, right? Because induction works by magnets, it's no big deal. Okay, so the thing is it needs to be hot, it should be boiling, that way we'll cook the skin super fast and it'll just shrink right off of it. Okay, it's really scandalous, it just peels right off. Also, if you have a ripping hot fryer, you just drop it in the fryer for a second, peel the skin off, and then you're done. Okay? The idea is not to cook whatever we're peeling though, we still want it raw. We're just trying to cook the skin, which is paper thin. So like if I put this in there now, it's not a rolling boil, it's going to take forever.
Interesting.
Okay, it's going to take a very long time. When I say very long time, I mean minutes. Like, that's not forever. But since we're cooking at such a low temp, we're actually cooking the entire tomato, and we're just trying to get the skin on. Okay, so how do we know when it's done? You can actually start peeling the skin right off it. So far, nothing, right? Usually, if you see it start peeling, it's ready. Okay. Now, if we take it out of super hot water and then we just leave it alone, it's going to go ahead and keep cooking. So we have to shock it. That's what the ice is for. Okay, we have to have a big ice bath so we can shock it. Now, obviously, the more stuff we shock, the less cold this is. So we have tons of ice to keep refilling. Now, if we start mixing things, contamination can happen. So then we have to change out our ice completely. Right now. This is important because what I've typically had to do is peaches. Lots and lots of peaches. You never serve the skin on peaches, ever. Okay, so it came out, it goes in the ice bath. Pick it up, I come over here, and the skin just peels right off of it. Okay, but you see, I haven't actually cooked the tomato yet. It's important. Right, now is the skin evil? No, but it is what separates the good cooks from, just normal cooks. Okay, so we go through. Can I put more than one in there? Absolutely. Just have to go to watch all of them at the same time. Yes. Make sure the water completely covers the product. If you're only poaching the bottom half, it's not going to be really good. It's especially hard when you get those gigantic, like Georgia or Texas peaches, the ones that are like a softball. You need a ton of water. Okay, but it should be a fast process. The water should be hot enough. These are a little underripe, right? They're very firm, which for aroma isn't a bad thing, but it is one of those issues, right? The more ripe it is, the faster it will go to. Straight into the ice water. You see, when it's ready, it goes fast.
Bless you.
Again, if I don't put this in ice water, see how it's still steamy? Because it's still cooking. Right. It's just cooking from the outside in. So it's going to get softer and softer. Now, especially when we start talking about our stone fruits that I keep referring to, nectarines, peaches, stuff like that, the softer it gets, the more impossible it's going to be for you to handle it. Okay? Nobody wants to bite into like a really hard peach, but nobody wants to like try and handle one that's falling apart in their fingers either. Okay? So, we take our skins, we set it aside, we can use that in our stock, right? Over here I've made a vegetable stock using tomatoes, and you can see all the stuff rising to the top right now. And at the bottom, it's mostly clear. Okay? When you go to the store and you buy vegetable stock and it's brown, it's because it was a brown vegetable stock. Vegetable stock naturally is just kind of like a brothy color, right? It's never brown. Now you can take it brown, but the one you get at the grocery store is pumped full of all kinds of additives and stuff like that. And now we know how easy it is to make it, so you might as well just make it yourself. Okay? So we come through like this. If you're having a particularly hard time, just take the butt of your knife, just grab it, and peel it right off like that. Okay, more surface area. But I think we all know that like trying to use an actual peeler on a tomato isn't really going to work out for us. So this is how we do it. Plus, it keeps its original shape. Right? Very important. So any questions over that? Because soon we're going to start including concasse in all of your work. Concasse, tell me what concasse is. Excellent. It is a rough chop. Okay? Concasse means rough chop. But when somebody tells you to concasse, they really mean put a small dice on it. Okay? If you just rough chop tomatoes, anybody can rough chop tomatoes. I want you to actually do something with it. Right? So we still have all the seeds in there, but now we don't have the skin. So there's a couple ways to do this. The most common way is we just cut it in half. Right? We'll come through, take the seeds out like so, and then make sure the core stays out of it. We'll scrape those seeds out. And a lot of people will save this, a lot of people will throw it away, or they'll just use it for stock. Okay? Like this, for pastry, is the perfect vessel for making your tomato sorbets. Puree all this up, it's already got natural pectin. You see how it's a gel naturally? Right? So then your sorbet stays super amazing forever. Good morning, Chef.
Morning, Chef.
Yeah, take whatever you need. You can take the whole carton. You can freeze it, but when we freeze tomatoes, the fibers break down really badly, so a lot of times we use fresh tomatoes. Otherwise, we just get canned. It's really rare that we use frozen tomato products. Okay, so we've broken this down more or less. And then, when I say concasse, literally this could be concasse. Right? Just a rough chop. None of it's the same, it's all kind of chopped up, it's whatever. But because we're professionals, we're going to come through, we're actually going to put something beautiful on it. Right? Because this is what we're going to put like in our soups or something like that to prove that it has amazing knife skills. Okay? Now, usually things with skins, we can't cut on the skin side up, but this way it's much firmer. It actually makes it a lot easier. Right? Okay, we just go straight through, no big deal. Now, when I say concasse, what I'm really grading in this class is that you peeled it, took all the seeds out, and you gave me something that looks decent. Okay, this is decent. But I think you understand my implication when I say true professionals take the extra time. Right? Okay? So, I'll show you again. Alright, we just take our fingers and do that, no big deal. Now, will pastry do this very often? Depends. If you're putting tomatoes on your focaccia, you better peel them. Okay, because what's going to happen to the skin on the tomato when it goes in the oven? It's going to shrivel up and it's going to burn, and it's going to release all of these liquids that we don't want. If you take the peel off, suddenly you have just like the flesh of a tomato. It's just like once you guys start sectioning fruit, which we'll do soon, you'll start to see a huge difference between an orange, like you've eaten your whole life, and an orange the way it's meant to be eaten, right? Small technique makes a huge world of difference. Okay, especially when we get to like really beautiful heirloom tomatoes, makes a big, big difference when the flesh has all that flavor, and then you get rid of that skin that gets stuck in your teeth or makes it difficult to eat or anything like that. Don't worry, it's just parsley. Okay, so compensate. Easy, right? Easy. If I give you now for compensate, oh my goodness. All right, so let's get back over to braising. Okay, there are two types of braised: white braised, brown braised. What's the difference? The ingredients, okay, such as what? What would make it brown? What would make it white? Okay, what are the difference in our stocks? What kind of stocks do we have? That's making really nervous. We have brown stocks and white stocks, remember? What do we call stocks? We call them fonds, F-O-N-D, fond as in foundation, right? Okay, so we have a white stock and we have a brown stock. For a white braised, what kind of stock do you think we use? For a brown stock, what kind of stock, or excuse me, for a brown braised, what kind of stock do you think we use? Okay. There's also a color that we go to on this. Now, your pan needs to be hot. Then you add the oil to it. You see how I'm testing how hot it is? I don't put my hand on it, because that's just stupid. But this is how I can tell if it's hot. Put my hand over it. If I don't feel any heat, it's probably not hot, right? Okay, so then I get my oil in there. I'm talking hot. Okay. We don't want it smoking, but we do want it hot. Over here I've broken down two of our logs, which we know now means what? Without guts or without gizzards. Okay? And then I dry them, right? It's important to dry your chicken pieces. Don't worry too much about breaking down a chicken because I never broke down a chicken until I started teaching. Okay? Like in pastry, you don't break down chickens. Now, I can season these, right? But I can't season a lot because it's not going to really end up on the bird. And you notice I have one breast without skin, right? Because we're going to see the difference in braising with and without our skins. When I left the breast whole, when do we typically braise? Who can remember from our beautiful PowerPoints? Excellent. Okay. We braise tough cuts of meats. That way they can be tenderized. We usually braise large, tough pieces of meat because we're going to